drinking cold water. In East Asian culture, you will notice that very few people drink ice cold water because our digestive system in Eastern medicine does not like tons of cold. It harms the digestive system, right? And so in the winter months when it is cold, naturally your digestive system lets feed it more warm things, especially as a woman, right? And so that's like how much you can kind of go down this path, because women are more yin, men are more yang by nature. You can be more masculine, you can be more feminine, but by nature, that means that women need more warmth and nourishing, right?
Yeah,
And so this is the
yeah.
way you look at all this. So during the summer months, for example, you can balance that a bit because it's hot out. You can eat more cold things. During the winter months, it tends to, and I talk about food because food is the best medicine. Do you like
Hmm.
I just jump immediately into food, of course, right? And then during the spring months, paying more attention to detoxifying the body because now is the time to kind of revive and rebalance in that way. So that's kind of, we can go into a lot of detail. And I'm certain that if you were to look into the medicine wheel as you're talking about, and we kind of compared principally, they would say a lot of the same things.
I think
Same
so.
thing with Ayurvedic
Yeah.
medicine from India, also one of the most ancient. Our words might be different, but all of those principles are so similar in the way that we look and understand the human mind and body.
Yeah, I always thought about fruit being nature saying, let's eat, right? So, fruit in the summertime is actually like nature beckoning you to eat fructose and to eat that sugar. But in the winter, the reason why fruit doesn't grow so apparently is because nature doesn't want you to eat that much sugar in the winter. It's more these like satiating foods and warmer soups. And, especially for pregnant women or women, couples that want to conceive, nutrition is so massive. We'll link some resources in this show notes today. But I wonder, just to shift gears here, because we've been talking a lot about your lineage and your past and you at 10,000 feet having the it moment. I think about culturally the appropriation that happens with the Native American culture, and it just breaks my heart. I've been through multiple vision quests myself, fasting for 4 days in nature with just water, being connected to the earth in a way that is so incredibly profound, I can't even put it into words. And there's such a reverence and an honoring that must happen when we describe that Native American culture, and even the ways that men become men from boys and women become women from girls. Do you find that in Chinese medicine and Eastern medicine that there is some cultural appropriation? And if so, how do you navigate this fine line between the sharing of this Eastern practices and the risk of cultural appropriation?
Yeah, to me, it's not so difficult, and I can say that with confidence at this point because I've been doing it for a very long time because I don't get stuck there. And you'll just find that naturally, because that is very genuine to me, that when I go and teach, even if people bring that up, I naturally just keep going back to the principle at all. Because whether it is old or new, whether I am Asian and you are not, whether you are a man and I am woman, whether we have to figure that out. At the bottom line, we are literally human beings. And that's where I think that although it's very important, of course, in life to acknowledge the details of things, that each one of us is different and each one of us have all these unique aspects about us. And let's honor that and celebrate that. However, at the core of everything, we're all human. So it really doesn't matter when you talk to me. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? And so I don't get held personally, I don't get held up in that, no matter who is in front of me, which means, Josh, and believe me, in my life, I've been on in unbelievable panels and spoken with unbelievable Western medical doctors or, this kind of philosopher or practitioner. And I have found I cannot remember a time, Josh, and maybe I just didn't see it because it could not attach to me, is it maybe a
Mm-hmm.
good way of saying it, a
Mm-hmm.
time where I really had tension with someone because I don't feel that that's necessary. Are you going to argue with me that you're human? Because if you're not, I'd love to know. I'm sure there's a lot you can teach me.
Are you an alien?
Are there's certain, I hope I'm answering correctly to you, but that's my own humble experience. Doesn't mean I haven't had challenges. Doesn't mean people will probably have walked away from me like, I don't know what she's saying, but it doesn't, that's not, maybe I'm not for everyone. I am here. This is what certainly works for me. This is what I have seen work for thousands of people throughout time in my own personal life as I keep moving through life. And if this helps you, wonderful. And if it doesn't, move along. I am not here. You can't convince anyone of anything.
I mean, I actually bless the haters and the people that DM me really negative stuff. I mean, it doesn't feel good to read it. It doesn't feel nice to receive it. But man, if I'm standing for everything, and if I believe that a boy is a girl and a girl is a boy, and I fall into this trap that the narrative of gender dysphoria wants me to fall into, and just the sacred disrespect, the disrespect of men for men and women for women, it's just really Wetiko energy. It's demonic energy in the world. Yes, I can address it, but like we talked about earlier, I used to get caught up in it, especially during the whole pandemic insanity that happened with the lockdowns. All of these things are happening for us to actually get a gift of awareness and consciousness expansion. And it goes back to, I wonder how you feel about this. I'm sorry, I'm just on a rant right now. So I wonder how you feel about this. In one of the most beautiful things I've ever heard, and I'm no master of the Tao at all, right? It's a mastery process. My brother bought me a abridged version, a very shortened version of the Tao Te Ching. And one of the phrases I've heard Alan Watts say that just touches my heart, after a medicine journey once, I actually was listening to this, and it just became this North Star for me in my life. And it was, the great Tao loves and nourishes all things, but it does not lord it over them. That phrase, if we could just pause on that phrase, the great Tao loves and nourishes all things, but it does not lord it over them. I can feel that in my blood and my bones.
I do too. I get goosebumps when you say that, because it is so powerful. And even if someone's listening, I feel compelled to say this right now. Don't get caught up in those words, because it's so easy to. And of course, naturally, the human mind will want to like figure it out. Like, what does that mean? But if you really just do open your heart and your mind and you hear that it is very, even that alone is good energy, good positive energy, you know, coming in and nourishing ourselves. And that's one of my favorite words, nourishment. You know, and that is the truth. And what that speaks on, in my humble understanding, is exactly what we were just talking about, which is why I'm sure that sparked that memory and that important principle in your life, is that, yeah, no one, not even the highest power, not even God, can convince us necessarily to do something. At the end of the day, that is the human test. That is the human condition. Whatever resonates, maybe this exact way I'm saying this doesn't, but at the end of the day, we all have a choice. It is a really scary, but it is the most empowering and beautiful thing. At the end of the day, we all have a choice of what we're going to take in, how we're going to respond to that. Actually, we talked about this not too long ago.
It's profound. And look, we're getting into philosophy, but philosophy is part of spirituality. And on the screen right now, for everyone watching on YouTube and Spotify, there's our model that we teach in Liberated Life. And it's really just this understanding, Janelle, that we are always in mastery. We never have it all figured out. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast. Click the link if you want to watch the full episode, and I will see you in the next video.